Welcome to Temple Baptist Church, our devotional time. Today we're going to be in the book of Hebrews. We're going to look at chapter 11. We'll just look at the first two verses. Of course, chapter 11 is noted as the hall of faith, you might say. A lot of the Old Testament saints are mentioned there that were really faithful people. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, for by it the elders obtained a good testimony." The book of Hebrews, of course, is written with Jewish readers in mind. They saw themselves, first of all, as a physical heir of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And before hearing about Jesus, they identified with a visual land, a city, and a temple. And then after hearing about Jesus, they were faced with the fears of the unknown of following Jesus. And then some of them were having second thoughts. So, and we say we don't know who the writer of Hebrews is. We don't know who penned it. We know who the writer of the Bible is. It's God. But anyhow, he uses a familiar list of their ancestors to remind his readers that they weren't the first, and they certainly weren't going to be the last to put their hope in an unseen God. That's what we do today, isn't it? Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good testimony. So emphasizing faith over sight, and that's what this letter does, I think. This letter from the beginning to the end offers a reason for us to keep our eyes on Jesus. Now, I'm going to go back several years in my life, and they still haunt me sometimes. But anyhow, I remember basic training in the Army. One of the dreaded things that we had to face was the obstacle course. And I remember kind of struggling with that, and in different stages of that obstacle course, just did not have the confidence in myself to do some of those things. And one time I was doing something, and I think maybe it was on the monkey bars, and I was struggling a little bit with that. And an officer come by and spoke to me and talked to me a little bit. And I said, "Well, I'm maybe not just as strong as I ought to be." And he said, "You're just as strong as you need to be." He kind of gave me some encouragement, and I was able to face that problem of the obstacle course with a new perspective. I was able to face problems that seemed to be impossible to conquer. That was something that was seeming to be impossible for me to conquer. Had I not conquered that, I would have been dishonorably discharged from the service. I wouldn't have made the grade to go on. So it seems impossible sometimes to conquer fears, and insecurity can cause doubt, can't it? My insecurity was causing me some doubt, but this gentleman, I didn't know God at that time, this officer at that time, gave me a little bit of encouragement. But the assurance of God unchanging might, His goodness, and His faithfulness should create a strong harness of trust for us. Create a trust for us that, the confidence, the assurance the courage these Old Testament saints that they had demonstrated to these that are in the New Testament. They had these witnesses there. In fact, you just turn over to chapter 12, and we look at verses 1 and 2 probably. "Therefore also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which do so easily ensnare us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." We got all these witnesses. We got all these that have gone before. We've got all these that done these things before, and they were being persecuted. They were being tried. The Old Testament states demonstrated their faith triumphs, the need to know every detail of God's will. We don't need to know every detail, of God's plan with the, conviction. We can earnestly often standing alone when we trust Him. You know, we can just the way we approach our challenges by viewing our circumstances with an eternal perspective, you know, knowing our trials are only temporary. You know, they're just temporary. Focusing on the steep climb that can prevent us from believing that God will bring us through. If we focus on the steepness of it rather than focusing on God. But knowing He is with us, can, you know, get rid of that uncertainty. By faith, we trust God to help us overcome obstacles that seem impossible. Well, I didn't do that in basic training. I didn't trust God. I didn't know God. I didn't have any of this faith or anything like that. I trusted this officer that gave me the encouragement, hey, you can do this, and I stepped up and I did it. But today, I have faith in God. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I'm trusting God to take me through. I'm trusting God for the impossible. And He is going to someday come back and redeem those that have trusted Him as personal Savior. If you have not done that, our prayer is that you will. And we invite you to our services here at Temple. Sunday mornings, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, Sunday night, 6, Wednesday night at 7. Anytime you want to be a part of those services, or if you need any spiritual guidance or just need to talk to somebody, please give us a call at 573-785-1250. May God bless you is our prayer.